We got to welcome in one of our favorite people to the studio here for Red Corner, Blue Corner, Sam Brief, 2023 American Association Broadcaster of the Year. And Sam, you got a little treat for us. What are we doing today?
It's bowl season. Everything is a treat. We're coming up on the holidays. So my gift to you is that we're going to break down your bowl picks. And just in the spirit of merriment that this time of year brings, we're going to start with all the picks that you agree on. We took all the bowls that Big Ten teams now or later are in. So that counts all the teams out west. This is what we agree on, right? No issue. Maybe we'll break down some of them later. But here you see Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, and the bunch, all three in agreement. So that's enough of the good stuff. Let's get to what you guys disagree on, because I'm always here to watch Jake and Joshua argue, and then I just stand here in the middle and look a lot smaller than you two. So let's start with Jake's lovely alma mater, the University of Michigan, looking for a national championship, but they've got to get through Nick Saban's Bama. Joshua, you've got the Tide. Jake, you, of course, have the Wolverines. Let's hear from you first, Jake.
Well,
Why Michigan?
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked because, Joshua, this is a path you took yourself. You understood to win your national championship. It was Ezekiel Elliott, 85 yards right through the heart of the South, right? So this feels exactly like that to me. We've agreed on this show all year. I believe you have as well, that Michigan's been the best team in college football. I understand the challenge that is ahead of them, but I do believe you bang your head against the ceiling, and then eventually you refocus and you break through. To me, this is the year that Michigan breaks through. I think they get it done.
Yeah, I actually took the opposite path because we were the 4 seed, and so that's why I'm rolling with the Tide here. And the fact of the matter is, I cannot shake this idea of the Jim Harbaugh postseason record when you juxtapose it against what Nick Saban has been able to do, specifically in the college football playoff era. This guy knows how to win the titles. I think that Jalen Milroe presents a really unique challenge because there's not a quarterback in the Big Ten that has a skill set like what he has. And of course, he'll be able to prepare for it with some of the personnel on Michigan's roster. Defense will be ready, but I think it's really hard to adjust to that style of play. I think it gives Alabama an edge.
Let me respond to that, because one thing that's encouraging is Bama's offensive line has given up pressure and they've given up sacks. They've struggled to, and that's going to play a factor in this game. Michigan's defense is veteran. You know how valuable that is when you have to implement schemes to slow down a running quarterback. It's not just about talent. It's about discipline and scheme. I think they can do this. I understand Jim Harbaugh's postseason record. It reminds me of early in Harbaugh's Michigan coaching career with his record versus his rivals, his record versus Ohio State. We said that was who he was until he wasn't, until he broke through. This is the next thing for Coach Harbaugh to break through. I understand the postseason record, but something's got to give eventually. This is the year they get it done.
I got no rebuttal.
No rebuttal.
I'm sticking with my pick.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm on this side because I've got Bama. I'm rolling with the Tide. Hey, let's go on to Iowa and Tennessee. This is a really interesting one. You've got the team that got shut out by Michigan in the Big Ten championship game against a really explosive SEC team. Iowa, Tennessee, let's start with you now. Why Iowa?
Well, I don't trust just about anything in this football game. I do not trust Tennessee on offense. I do not trust them on defense. I do not trust Iowa on offense, but I do trust the Iowa Hawkeyes defense. And that's why I put my confidence with the Hawkeyes. I don't have a ton of confidence in the result of this game, but I think that is one of the best individual units in college football, and that's what they're going to ride with.
You're making me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. When you're talking, you're making me a little bit nervous. But then I'm reminded of the truth and why I picked Tennessee. And I actually picked them with a high degree of confidence. And the reason I did that is I look at where Iowa's at this season. I look at the Big Ten West. We've had a number of conversations. It was a down year in the Big Ten. It was a down year in the Big Ten West. So how about what happens when Iowa plays a quality opponent? Michigan, Penn State. Not too good. Now, I know Tennessee, they've had a wide range of on-field play, but I will say Tennessee's probably the third best opponent that Iowa's faced all season. I'm picking that trend line to say Iowa can win all the winnable games against lesser teams, but they struggle against teams with legit talent.
I mean, how do you beat a team when you don't have an offense? Iowa's got the best position group, but also the worst position group.
The defense can score, and Joe Milton might throw it to him.
Okay, so a couple pick sixes split it for Iowa.
He might.
Okay, so that's a big disagreement. Huge disparity there. How about we go now to Minnesota and Bowling Green? This is a really interesting matchup because the Golden Gophers are going to play a backup quarterback with almost no experience. You're rolling Minnesota.
Yeah.
You go Bowling Green. Let's start with that.
Yeah, I think Minnesota's another one of those teams where I can ask, where's the offensive production been? And I think that's going to be a real challenge, especially when you're going with a guy in Cole Kramer, who's more of a wildcat backup quarterback, does not have that many pass attempts throughout his career. I also believe in this idea that every single season, a team from the MAC will beat a Big Ten team. You know what didn't happen in out-of-conference play this year? A team from the MAC did not beat a Big Ten team. It's going to happen in bowl season, though, and that's why Bowling Green's going to win.
You're convincing. You're convincing. But I have to tell you the truth. We say they're playing with a backup quarterback. They don't throw the ball anyways. They don't really take shots down the field anyways. Cole Kramer, we need you to throw it 11 times, and 8 of those will be off play action. The rest will be like hitches on 1st and 10 versus off coverage. But here's why I'm saying this. There is an art to winning post-game, as we talked about with Coach Harbaugh. You know PJ Fleck's record? One of the best postseason records. I think he's 4-0 at Minnesota. He's on a hot streak. Postseason matters for PJ.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that between Iowa and Minnesota, the Big Ten is going to put out some absolutely atrocious offense during bowl season.
Yes,
Yeah?
absolutely. That's what you're hearing.
Okay, we're all in agreement
Yes.
on that, I guess. Hey, let's move on to a game that you guys agree on that I'm actually on the outside looking in here, and that is the Peach Bowl. We got Penn State and Ole Miss, another good old Big Ten SEC matchup. I want to hear from you first. Why Penn State?
Well, I'll answer, but I want to hear from you too. Okay, you can't dodge this
I
one. You're
won't
going to
hide.
have to explain this one. Why Penn State is I think this team, this is just a well-built team. I think what we obviously know is the offense has struggled this year, right? I understand Manny Diaz is gone. I still trust the defense, but I do believe with this month of time to prepare, I do believe it gives Drew Aller a chance to settle in and breathe. I do believe it's going to help these young backs refocus, get healthy. I do believe the offense will show up and be the difference in this game because I trust Penn State's defense.
That's where I'm at as well. I think Drew Aller becomes a better player with a month to prepare in this game, and hopefully they let him throw the ball down the daggone field because that's what he wants to do. I agree with you on the run game there. I think the defense is going to be maybe a bit of a question because Chop Robinson with the opt-out and everything, but they're a well-built unit. Even if Manny Diaz isn't on the sideline, is a well-built unit. And so for me, I feel like I like the construction of Penn State a little bit more than I do Ole Miss. And I don't know if I trust Lane Kiffin like that.
You don't think you trust Lane Kiffin? Well, how about Jackson Dart? He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. His numbers in the SEC, they were right up there with the Heisman winner, Jaden Daniels. I trust that Ole Miss offense. I think it's the best unit on the field, even though Penn State's defense balls out. Not enough explosiveness in the Nittany Lions offense. Give me Lane Kiffin, give me the Rebels to win the Peach Bowl. Hey, before we stop with picks, I need to hear about this next game. Okay. Because Joshua Perry, proud alum of The Ohio State University.
Yeah.
Jake Butt, you're a Michigan man. But you are putting more confidence in Ohio State to take down Missouri than this man is. So what do you have to say for yourself, Joshua?
Well, I think there's been a little disruption within the program. Obviously, starting quarterback transfer, so there's always going to be a question about how a backup would perform, especially in postseason with a game that actually matters for guys, at least on the other side, playing in it. Now, Ohio State's got a lot of guys that said they're committed to playing in this game, and that gives me some more confidence. The mentality of Missouri to finish off the season that they had with a win over a brand like Ohio State, though, that's a dangerous edge, and that's what takes my confidence away.
I've come to understand when everybody is so certain of something happening, I think the opposite sometimes happens. And it seems like everyone's just sold all their Ohio State stock. And I've wondered, why? All the defensive guys are playing. Ohio State wins games through their defense this year anyways. The defense keeps it close. Ryan Day is still a genius. He's going to scheme up some advantageous plays for Devin Brown. The Buckeyes get it done.
I'm with you both. More with you. I'd be stunned if Missouri wins this game. So we now want to hear from all of you guys. We're going to post the graphic of all of our picks on social media. Tell us, who you picking? Do you trust Ohio State? Who you got in the Peach Bowl? And of course, all those games we disagree on, we want to hear from you. Go Cats.
How about that? Now, this is an interesting bowl season, guys. We need your help. This is an excellent recap, as you can see right here. A bunch of toss-ups, but as Sam said, we encourage you guys to send us your picks at watchstadium.com/submit. Please get involved and join us in our bowl picks.
Thanks for joining us, Sam.
Thanks, fellas.